Hello and welcome to another video. Today I'm here to discuss how my one complaint with the Dark Knight trilogy has been rectified. And if you don't know, a few months ago I did a video titled "My One Complaint with the Dark Knight Trilogy," which was, if you haven't watched the video, was that Bruce Wayne was Batman for as nearly as long as I would like him to be, because I think a Batman should be Batman before retiring or sacrifice for at least a decade. Preferably, I perfectly ideal is like 20 years, but minimum, in the middle 15, minimum 10. And I think that's it. And of course, my original quote when I first made that video was that Bruce became Batman. A year later, Joker came along and all that stuff, and he retired. Great. But after some research done not by me, found more like I went onto Reddit and found this information and wanted to share since evidence both in the movie and in official books and stuff that Bruce was Batman for a lot longer. So I'm going to discuss that. So of course I'll put it on screen and link it in the description. Basically, this guy on Reddit. I can't remember his name, but again, he's on screen. An old post talking about how he did research on the true timeline of Bale's Batman, and how not only was Begins set in 1999, a lot earlier than we originally thought, but also Bruce was Batman for at least 5 years before The Dark Knight. How do we know this? Well, this guy looked in the official manual, which went over the technology and all that stuff of the trilogy, and it basically talked about Batman's new suit and how the Begins suit he used for about 5 years before replacing it. And of course, Batman gets a new suit in Dark Knight, Dark Knight, meaning between Batman Begins and the Dark Knight, it's been 5 years. Again, even now, we are already way better than we originally thought. That's an extra 4 years of being active, which are great. And then it gets even better because just evidence, just in general, Batman probably didn't retire straight after the Dark Knight, which, how do we explain this? The Batcave. Of course, Wayne Manor was burnt down thanks to the League of Shadows in Batman Begins, and it was rebuilt. And also, of course, it has a Batcave, and the Batcave has a few extra things that wasn't present when Bruce first became Batman, of course. So they had stuff added to it, and of course, Wayne Manor wasn't rectified until at least Rises, meaning Bruce added to the Batcave after the Dark Knight, which would not make any sense. Why would he add to a thing that he doesn't use anymore if he retired straight after? So that means Bruce continued, and of course the main evidence is in the Dark Knight Rises, the cop, detectives, wishes, whatever his name is, talks how Batman hasn't been sighted in 8 years, but that could just mean Bruce hasn't made a official sighting in that long. He could have easily stayed to the shadows a lot more than he used it, stopped communicating with the police, just done all that, and meaning, he could have, of course it's not official sighting, but he still continued. So at minimum, let's say, I don't know, 3 years. He after the Dark Knight, he continued for 3 more years, and then retired for about let's work it out, about 5 years, and then came back in the Dark Knight Rises, which would make sense. It gives him enough time to be out of practice for 5 years, but also extends his Batman career. So that means, I think, Bruce was Batman for at least 7 years, which is great. And again, in the Dark Knight, another evidence is that Joker says a year ago the mob had got the police in their pocket, which of course people assumed that it was like when Batman came along, with when the mob started losing the police. But of course, corruption doesn't end in a year. Of course, Gotham was corrupt for years, so it would take a long time for Commissioner Gordon and Batman to get rid of the corruption. So it probably didn't take a year, it probably took way longer. Maybe a year ago, by that point, is the last time the mob had the police in their pocket, but after 4 years of being Batman and Commissioner Gordon, and Bruce managed to clean up, so the mob has no longer tried to GCPD. Which, that makes it great. Again, Bruce gets back 7 years. The Joker line is explained, the Batcave is seriously having a new upgrade since Begins gets explained, and my one problem with the trilogy is rectified. Again, I'll leave the links to the original Redditor in the description to the original Reddit post, because again, he did all the work, this was not me. But yeah, thanks for watching, and yeah, I feel like it's a perfect trilogy now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.